I'm unmoved by white tears. Most of us are unmoved by white tears because we don't actually think they're real. It's a performance. It's a switch that you turn on. Most of us are, I'm unmoved by white tears. Most of us are unmoved by white tears because we don't actually think they're real. It's a performance. It's a switch that you turn on because you know that we have been socialized to see you as more human and of more value. So whatever it is you think and whatever it is you feel, we are supposed to respond to it. Y'all don't respond to Black women crying the same way. Nobody does. Nobody does. The minute a white woman cries, the world has to stop. Oh my God, what's wrong with you, baby? Black women cry, we could be rolling around on the ground screaming. And you are moved because you've been socialized not to see us as human beings. Our tears don't matter to you, but a white woman, and y'all know that shit. That's why I'm not here for the fragility. You know that. And so you very deliberately turn the shit on as a way to avoid accountability. Yep. Purposefully. That's not fragility. That's manipulation. That's strategic. That's diabolical. That's not fragility. And so this notion of white fragility is supposed to tell us what? We're supposed to let you off the hook because you can't handle it? No, you don't want to. And every time we hold your feet to the fire, all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. You didn't have to know. And now that I'm trying to make you know, you want to cry so we can end the conversation. This is how you run away. So how do I hold you accountable if you're all up in your feelings? How come I don't get to be in my feelings? I'm sitting here telling you about generations of your people, your ancestors killing mine. How come I don't get to turn tears on and move you? Sounds like I should be the one crying, no? Sounds like those tears should be mine. Sounds like the fragility might be mine, but no, I gotta be strong. Look at me. I got to sit here and this is the thing that really pisses me off. In your tears, you now expect me to hold your hand and rub your back and make you feel better because you're crying. Again, you're centered. Your experiences are more important than mine. That shit is diabolical. I'm not here for it.
I never would stand up to an audience as large as this and fail to warn you of the importance of protecting your own woman. You can't go in a white neighborhood and get a white woman. You can't get the white man's daughter in his neighborhood. You can't get his wife or his mother or his sister in his neighborhood. Then why should you let him walk around here in your neighborhood with your wife and your mother and your daughter and your sister? If you do it to him, he'll bust your head. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Remember that. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Do you understand what I'm saying? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let him know that the price he'll have to pay when he pats your woman is either the loss of his hand or the loss of his arm or the loss of his head. And if you go to jail for taking his head, you went to jail for a good cause. You can go to prison and say, I came here because I defended our black women from the filthy paws of that blue-eyed white man. Yes, I'm saying it and I mean it. You can go in hotels around here and find these white men laying up there with black women. Why, you should snatch off their head. I mean, snatch off their head. You and I will never be respected until we get some respect for this black woman. Make her straighten up and then straighten out that white man. And there's nothing wrong with that. No, what I'm telling you is not wrong. I'm telling you what is right. If he respects his women, then let's respect ours. And if he'll hang you for molesting his woman, you got your right to hang him for molesting your woman.
What is good, my people? We are live back again on the forecast. Now, I'm not gonna be on here long because I'm about to go to Fanbase, you know what I'm saying? But I just come on here for a few minutes just to let y'all know. And also to let y'all know about the the Zoom call that we got going on. It's gonna be set up tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all haven't emailed me. So if you want the link to the Zoom call, right, I'm gonna put my link in the chat, right? And if you want to be a part of it, because we're gonna go ahead with it anyway. But people keep talking about doing stuff, right? But we're not really doing anything. So we trying to make something tangible happen. So I'm putting my email in the link in the chat. And if you want to be a part of it, we having the Zoom call tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna be on there. You got to show your face and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and also make sure y'all subscribe to the backup channel and all of that. But even though I'm not gonna be on here long, because we're gonna have the real conversation over on Fanbase. So make sure y'all go get the Fanbase app and download it. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to make our move off of here. I mean, I understand it has its place because I'm gonna show y'all a few videos while I wait for while before we go over there. Cause I was talking about something and I didn't really finish it because I saw more videos that kind of made me want to come on here because I was just gonna go on Fanbase. But make sure y'all get the Fanbase app. You know what I'm saying? Cause right now I'm not here for your fragility. You heard the sister. You heard her say it. I know a lot of y'all love them white bitches. I know it. Right? That's the whole reason why there's so many people talking about biracial people are black because they thinking they can still have a black child with a non-black person. Nah, it's time for us to come up with rules and regulations. Right? Because we are in danger and we just got this love of white women, just love them so much. And that's why I go so hard. You know what I'm saying? See, right, they are literally the most protected group in the world, and everybody is scared to say anything to them because all they got to do is bust out a tear and they can get away with literally murder. Literally. And I know a lot of y'all gonna do whatever it takes to keep your little white girls, you know what I'm saying? Find every excuse. And it ain't even gotta be a white girl, it just gotta be a non-black girl for a lot of you. See, all of that stuff with the names and all of that, that's just deflection. That's just another way that is manifested. But I mean, like, let's be real, for a couple hundred years, we've had this thing about lightening up our skin, like picking lighter, especially the men, I'm sorry to say, but and I'm just speaking because I'm a man, but I'm not saying it's limited to men and whatsoever. But for a long time, this colorism thing has affected our community. We really tried to wipe this blackness off of us. That's why we argue about all of this stuff. And you allow other people in, right? Really trying to escape for yourself. That's why you open up blackness to everybody. As if you can't create your own rules to stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sick part of it. But before we go over the fan base, because like I said, I'm not on here. I'm not gonna be on here long. But I know all of y'all heard that story about that brother. But I don't want y'all to think that it's limited because this seems to be the black man's kryptonite all around the world. The precious white women. We have lost wars behind this. We have lost cities behind them. The tears of a white bitch, and we still give them a pass. And that's what I just don't understand. Try to find ways to call them an ally when they're probably the most dangerous species in the galaxy, in the universe, whatever. And we let them get a whole pass out here. And it's do or die. Either you gonna do what you gotta do or you gonna keep dying. We've been dying. How long have we been choosing die instead of do? It's been a real long time. But okay, so we can hurry up, and before we can go over the fan base, let me put this share this next video, this first video. Cause I just wanted to because it was more to the thing. Maybe I should probably do a whole premiere. And by the way, y'all, I'm gonna have a premiere tomorrow, later tomorrow in the afternoon. You know, we're gonna have that meeting. So definitely make sure y'all take my email if you want to be a part, and I'll send you the link. Like I said, you gotta show your face, but this just an introduction for people who's like really serious about doing something. Like we trying to come together and actually build things, you know, move organizations forward, and like just organizing ourselves. Because, you know, contrary to belief, I never said save everybody, but you know, you got to save yourself, you know what I'm saying, with those who want to be saved around you. So go do that, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna start getting introduced to that. But I'm sure y'all heard about that precious snow bunny that most of y'all probably still pick up, you know what I'm saying? And how she stabbed this black man who had all of these anti-black sentiments, because you know, if you classify as this or you distance yourself from that, you're gonna be seen as different. But you know, I mean, I don't know how many bodies it's gonna take for us to see otherwise. Made up bodies at that. But yo, let me play this video here. Because it's a little bit more footage came up about this white girl, this white bitch being arrested right after she stabbed the dude. So
New developments in a bloody stabbing death in a Miami high-rise.
A man working in the growing cryptocurrency industry found dead inside his home, and his girlfriend, an Instagram star, seen covered in blood. Local 10's Alex Finney, live with what she's learned so far. Alex.
And so Nicole and Louis, we just finished speaking with the family of Christian Abumseli. They just finished speaking with the state attorney's office here and remain confident in this investigation. But we also want to show you now, pivoting just a little bit back to the scene, that video that we actually got from TMZ showing a bloody
look at this white girl. This is the American history, except for the cuffs part. You know what I'm saying? And the cuffs don't last too long, by the way. But you know, blonde hair, white bitch with a black man blood all over her. After freshly having put a knife to his skin, and the brother ended up dead. It's a common scene in America, but I mean, we don't. I guess y'all forgave Emmett Till's killer. I don't know.
25-year-old Courtney Taylor, that Instagram star that you just mentioned there, moments after her boyfriend was stabbed to death. Now, police say that Taylor was in fact the one that stabbed 27-year-old Christian Abumseli.
Yo, look at her. Look at her. Fresh stabbed him. Blood everywhere. Chilling. Cool as a fan. You know, y'all be sitting over there crying. Well, you'd be dead if it was the other way around. But y'all would be sitting there crying your heart away. I don't even think of black, like y'all telling me black women to just have this cool demeanor after having just killed you, right? Your body is probably right there on the other side of that sheet, and you just, hey, you know, it is what it is. I know I'm gonna walk away.
To death inside their Miami apartment. This is right off of 7th Avenue. He was stabbed in the shoulder and later died at the hospital. Now, it's a really interesting story here because you have a lot of different details, a lot of different sides. Friends that were close to the couple say that their relationship, it was tumultuous, it was violent. Some say that she was the aggressor and that she suffers from mental illness. Now, a neighbor that we also spoke with this.
Damn, here come the whole she suffered from mental illness thing already popping up. They setting up a whole lot of excuses, so when she walks away, and I'm sure a lot of y'all would be cool with that because this is y'all precious white bitch here.
Tumultuous, it was violent. Some say that she was the aggressor and that she suffers from mental illness. Now, a neighbor that we also spoke with this past week says that he was. We know Courtney in this instance, she is claiming self-defense. She actually had to be Baker acted after being brought in for questioning because she was threatening to kill herself. We spoke with the victim's family again just a few moments ago. They tell us that there is just no way that Abumseli put his hands on her. Take a listen.
Devastation doesn't quite describe what my family is experiencing right now. Yesterday, we finally told our 93-year-old grandmother that her grandson, who was expected to come home to Texas to visit for his 28th birthday, will no longer or ever be returning home. We have not had an opportunity to even start to grieve the loss of our family, of our brother, cousin, son.
Now, Courtney's attorney, Frank Prieto, sent our station this statement saying here, clearly, none of this was intended, and Courtney is struggling mentally with the aftermath of what occurred that evening. This is a tragedy for all involved, but it was not criminal conduct. Courtney was defending herself, and the investigation will reveal exactly that. Now, at this point, still no charges have been filed in this case. We will continue to follow that for you. For now, this is the
Now, at this point, I wonder how many black men would have been lynched, but it ain't no charges filed for her. This OnlyFans model who now all of a sudden is a retard or something, you know, all of a sudden she doesn't know what she was doing. She was in the heat of the moment, even though she got violent tendencies described by her friends, right? Even though, let's be real, right? We get this rep of being so violent, so violent. But I'm telling you, if we do a body count, we don't even gotta talk about white dudes, but body count between us and white women, it's not even close. And this dude who get his precious white bitch, he's probably most likely not gonna put his hands on this OnlyFans model who's probably out there doing what she does. And he ain't gonna have nothing else to say. He ain't gonna have that same smoke. But I guess now she's mentally handicapped, so it's okay. But yo, it's more video. And I'm only gonna play some of it. Cause this is her chilling out at a bar after having stabbed dude.
Yeah, you should go. Because you just killed your boyfriend.
Courtney Taylor, who was found at the time of after boyfriend's fatal stabbing. New video showing the bloody aftermath of a domestic disturbance in Miami ended with one man being stabbed to death and a woman covered in blood. In the footage attained by TMZ, you see the woman in sweatpants and a bra, handcuffed and soaked in blood as she sits on the floor of a luxury apartment talking to cops. That's the image there. I'm going to play this video. You can see a woman suspected, Courtney Taylor, laying out on a balcony with a dog there. She has white pants, blood all over her pants. She's wearing a bra and she's talking to the police. She looks agitated, crying. That's the extent of the video. Cops responded Sunday to a call about a domestic violence incident involving a stabbing, and when they got there, they found the 27-year-old man with an apparent knife wound who was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The man, Christian Obumseli, and the woman in the video were involved in a physical confrontation that turned deadly. This is a picture of the couple there. Cops are not releasing the woman's name, and she has not been arrested. But Lee Merritt, an attorney working with Christian's family, say the woman is...
By the way, that guy Lee Merritt, that brother, Lee Merritt, he probably has way more cases than Ben Crump. He's like on like 80% of the videos or the premieres. If you pay attention to who the family lawyer is, it's Lee Merritt, if more times than not.
IG model Courtney Taylor, Christian's girlfriend. In this video, the woman's blood-soaked bra and sweats are identical to what Courtney was wearing earlier that same day when she posted a video of herself on Instagram Live. So this was earlier.
Okay, so let's see
the same day.
Let's see him play this video of this mentally handicapped white bitch right before she killed somebody.
This is the same day, guys.
Where do I see myself in 5 years? That's a good question. Okay. I see myself with, say, 2 children. I'd say at least 1 kid. In like 5 years, I want 1 kid. Should I have a daughter or a son? I want like a kid. A few houses. Business going on. Probably not OF, but we'll see.
So that's the
But we'll see. So she might still be on OnlyFans in about 5 years. Yo, what up, Bill Gates? What up, Rashida Brown? Mayat? Right, yeah, facts. Yo, what up? Hey, Bill Gates, yo, you need to get that the Fanbase app, my brother. I'm about to go over there in a few minutes, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you definitely need to come on there. Is just download Fanbase, and it's a good app, it's black owned, and it can replace YouTube, at least for the discussions, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so this white bitch, she probably be doing the OnlyFans in 5 years and stuff like that. And it's still her. And hold on, I probably should have played a little bit more. I'm gonna play a little bit more.
first thing that I wanted to cover there, get into. So that sets the stage, the scene of what's going on there. It was domestic violence incident. The Miami PD were called. When they got there, they found a young man with a 27-year-old man with a knife wound. He later died. Courtney Taylor, she's seen there, blood all over her, blood on her pants. It's clear that that's the same woman because that's what she was wearing in that video there. So what I want to get to is what the whole purpose of this podcast episode was. There is new footage. There's new video documenting, what's going on with this developing story. So apparently Courtney Taylor was in a Miami hotel.
All right, so yeah, he about to show what's going on now after she killed somebody. This is life after having stabbed her black boyfriend to death.
A few days after her boyfriend was killed, and someone started recording while she was in the lobby, and that is this video here. For the audio listeners, the context will speak for itself, so let's just play the video.
I'll videotape her right now. You should go. Yeah, you should go. Because you just killed your boyfriend. Yeah, you did. Yeah, and yeah. Okay, cool. I'll videotape her right now.
Look at this thug. Look at this killer right here.
You should go. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll videotape her right now. You should go. Yeah, you should go. Because you just killed your boyfriend. Yeah, you did. Yeah, and yeah. Okay, cool.
So somebody started filming her when she was at the hotel, because if you don't know this story, there's been a claim of self-defense and also mental stability right after she was arrested. And that would not coincide with someone who is at a hotel bar already after something so traumatic, getting dinner. So why would you want to be out in public at all? So Courtney Taylor, the model who was covered in blood after her boyfriend was brutally killed, got a temperature check on how the public feels about her. And it ain't good. A video has surfaced that shows someone filming a blonde woman in the lobby area of Miami Grand Beach Hotel Friday night, with the camera person saying she will not stop recording and arguing this woman, whom she believes is Taylor, has no business being there, especially since her boyfriend, Christian Obunseli, was slain just a couple of days ago. I agree. The person filming also makes clear their opinion on the matter, namely that she believes Taylor may have been the one who did the stabbing, something Courtney Taylor has yet to be accused of by the cops or law enforcement officials at this point in the investigation. Their IG caption is also telling Miami PD police, "Does this look like a mentally unstable person to you, as she claims?" She's referring to the fact that Taylor was placed in a psychiatric hold after threatening suicide when she was brought in for questioning. Clearly, she's been released from that hold for nearly a full week and is out and about, not in custody. Courtney's attorney, Frank Prieto, yes, this is in fact his client, but he defends her being there and says this is just an example of people running with theories without knowing the full facts. He says in part, Courtney was there that night with her father, who simply wanted to pop in and have a drink in private, which was disrupted by this woman who started filming. Prieto also says this: it is unfortunate that a member of the public, knowing absolutely nothing about circumstances and events surrounding the death of Mr. Obinselli, would take the opportunity to harass the Clinty family during a time that they are trying to be supportive for Courtney. Oh, man. That is crazy. Come on, man. Listen, innocent until proven guilty with everything. But it is safe for people to assume that somebody who is having mental instability and all that should not be out in public. He believes Courtney is the victim of physical, emotional, and mental abuse at the hands of Mr. Obinselli, while also suggesting she may even have been a victim of human trafficking without elaborating much further. What? Do you guys believe that?
Nope. So it's that black man kidnapped the precious white woman. That's the Jack Taylor law when they Jack Johnson law when they changed the law and they made it illegal to transport white women across state lines.
Prieto also makes this clear. He believes his client was fighting for her life during the domestic disturbance. They got cops sent out that fateful day. He claims at the time of the incident, Mr. Obinselli was committing a forcible felony. He had gained access to Courtney's apartment without permission on several occasions in the days leading up to the incident. He adds, Courtney acted in self-defense. The investigation by both the City of Miami Police Department and Miami-Dade State Attorney Office will conclude such. With that said, we would ask for the public's understanding about observing the family's privacy at this time. Okay. I don't know why they got that picture there.
It's because they know Negroes. That's all Negroes need to see. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so, they said that's her father or whatever. Who knows if that's her father? She at this hotel with this OnlyFans model is at this hotel with. Who knows? Plus, you don't know their culture anyway, but she claims that's her father. Just days after stabbing and shooting somebody, going to have an elegant dinner. And of course, this quote unquote father of hers is saying, this is a Negro male. He probably tried to come in her house several times and forcibly do this and do that to her, because we know how these Negroes are, especially when it comes to this precious white woman. Right, yeah. And that's the thing, and that's why Bushido Brown, we don't tell our story enough, you know what I'm saying? Because guess who's always the dead man? You know what I'm saying? But so of course they're gonna try to put all of these pictures of her, and I could hear it now. All these black dudes talking about, oh well, she is pretty though, you know what I'm saying? She is whatever. And they'll give her a pass. That's why this is kind of incident, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to give the people who, especially dudes like him, who got that mindset, but ultimately, you better learn that these white bitches is the most dangerous species in the universe. I'm trying to tell you, because they know how to play both sides of the fence. They know when to pull the tears. You see, she went straight to the crazy thing. They took her to the hospital. Now she released, and she probably still gonna have her vision in 5 years. Right? Now, all of a sudden, dude broke into her house on several occasions. All of this stuff. But I mean, I guess Rosewood wasn't enough. Black Wall Street wasn't enough. It's so many, you know what I'm saying, to name all of them. The OC massacre wasn't enough. The lynching of Jesse Washington wasn't enough. I mean, we can go on and on. whole civilizations have been destroyed behind this. You know what I'm saying? And I just want y'all to get a mindset of like I just want y'all to get a mindset of what we're dealing with here, and what you giving the past to. You know what I'm saying? Because this isn't new. This isn't something that just happened. And we act like we don't understand that this isn't something new. So let me bring up this next screen share. Hold on, give me 1 second while I hold on. I got an ad on it. Give me 1 second. Now that was a young white bitch. Now, you know what I'm saying? I want you to see how this is just something that's tested here in America and true, you know what I'm saying? But we still got the same, well, white bitches is somehow different, somehow, this minority class. But I want y'all to see how these old white bitches mindset is.
CBS Mornings, we're bringing you the story today of a man who has spent decades in prison for a crime he says he did not commit. His name is Vincent Simmons. He's serving a 100-year prison sentence in Louisiana after being convicted of attempted aggravated rape of two 14-year-old twin sisters back in 1977. But there have always been unanswered questions in this case, and a judge is about to rule on whether Simmons will get a new trial. Lead national correspondent David Begnaud spent months reporting on this story, and he's got some new developments that could change this case.
By the way, now this is 2022, and this case was in 1977. Right? So you can clearly do the math on that. 40 plus years, and now finally talking about a new case.
David joins us now. Good morning to you, David.
Good morning, Gail. What you are about to hear, the jury never heard. Starting with the initial report that the twins gave to police about who they say sexually assaulted them. A questionable photo, the forensic exam conducted by a doctor on the twins, and then we have an explosive revelation that no one has heard until we started investigating this story.
In the rural center of Louisiana, there has been a haunting question hanging over Marksville for decades. Did Vincent Simmons get a fair trial in 1977 when he was convicted of a heinous crime against 14-year-old twin sisters?
He raped two of us, and he put us in a trunk to die. He had me write our names down, and he told us he was going.
Now, even though it's not true, look at the conviction that they saying this with, like almost like they believe it, right? Almost like some psychopathic or sociopathic type stuff where they believe their own BS.
To kill us, and we believed every word of it. And we were not going to tell anyone. Our plan was we were going to die with this.
But 2 weeks later, word got to the sheriff. And that is when Karen and Sharon Sanders reluctantly reported some details, claiming they were forcibly taken by a black man to a country road and sexually assaulted for 3 hours in a car that belonged to their 18-year-old cousin, Keith Laborde, while he was locked in the trunk.
We called him Simmons all night. There's so many.
All right, so this black man locked the dude in the trunk and then raped two white bitches in the backseat, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the other one was doing while he was raping one of them, but
Things about that night. He gave us his name.
When you were questioned by the sheriff,
yes,
you never gave the name Simmons.
No, we did not.
You never described what he looked like.
No, we did not.
You said all
blacks look alike.
And you said all N-words.
That's right. Sure did.
So how are we to square the fact that that night you couldn't explain anything? You didn't have his name. You didn't know what he looked like. But now you're telling me today, and you testified at trial, that his name was Simmons.
That's right.
How does that happen?
Okay, this is how it happens. We had all three swore to each other that we would not tell a soul.
May I ask you, with all due respect?
Yes.
Why did you make that pact to not say anything? Why
We
wouldn't
were
you
scared.
immediately report it?
Because we were scared. He told us that he had friends and that he would come back to kill us if we told anybody.
67 days after he was arrested, Simmons, who was known to police as a petty thief, was sentenced to 100 years in prison, convicted at 25 years old of attempted aggravated rape by a jury of 11 white men and 1 black woman.
The first thing I want to say to you is that I know my client is innocent.
Justin Bonus is the latest attorney to take up Simmons' case. He filed a motion to have Simmons released.
This was a legal lynching.
He is waiting for a Louisiana judge to rule next week on whether or not Simmons is entitled to a new trial.
There's no physical evidence that connects him to that crime. There's no blood. There's no semen. There's no hairs. There's nothing. Sharon talks about bleeding all over the car. Karen talks about a violent rape. Where's the evidence in the car? Where's the blood in the car? There's nothing that supports a crime happened, and there's definitely not anything that supports that a black man committed the crime.
This is important for the viewers to know. A month or so ago, the DA offered to release him, but he wanted him to register as a sex offender. And what did Vincent say to you?
No.
Why?
He didn't do this.
So he turned down freedom.
Correct.
Because a sex offender registrant meant that much to him.
Correct.
That he didn't want to do it.
Correct. Because he's not a sex offender.
This is the man who offered to release him, the current district attorney, Charlie Riddle. Why did you offer to release Mr.
Because
Simmons?
today, 40 years would probably be the sentence that we would request in a case like this.
This box, this.
Instead, Riddle is now left to defend a case that, based on new...
Y'all hear that? So even when white women is swirling, those white dudes still gonna give your ass 40 years.
Information raises more questions about whether Simmons is guilty. Years after going to prison, Simmons obtained the district attorney's evidence file about the case. In it, he claims he found a revealing medical report from the local coroner, a trained doctor who examined the twins. That report was never introduced at trial. One of the attorneys, who was Vincent's defense attorney at the time of trial, says they never knew that the coroner said you were a virgin, that the coroner said there was no evidence of sexual assault found on either one of you.
Okay, well,
They didn't know that.
Well, it's 2 weeks later, and it's still not important. The fact is, he still attempted, and he wasn't successful, so he still raped me, and he did rape her.
So how do you react, though, when the report essentially says
I
there
don't
was
care,
no
because
evidence of sexual assault?
Because it doesn't matter. There was.
Because we know.
By now, I think if we were lying, we would have given up. But I'm not giving up.
By the way, they would not have given up if they was lying, because they is lying and they haven't given up.
In 1994, Simmons took the medical examination report to a parole board.
We didn't have none of this evidence. None of this evidence was presented before the jury because the DA had it in his file. It testified before the jury that they were brutally raped. They repeatedly asked them, would they be able to identify this person again if they saw him, to say no, because all blacks look alike.
And he presented another piece of evidence that he found in the file. He says this is a lineup photo showing him in handcuffs.
This is a joke. It's a joke. It doesn't get any more suggestive than this.
Did the two of you and Keith all pick Vincent Simmons out of the lineup?
Yes, we all three did.
The lineup shows him in handcuffs.
Yeah, it sure does. And that's been a big problem because when we picked him, he was not in handcuffs.
I'm telling you that the deputies that were there and present and the victims say that he was never in handcuffs when they identified him.
So
He was never in handcuffs, even though he was in the picture in handcuffs. Got you.
is it possible that you made a mistake when you picked him in the lineup?
David, I have lived 44 years with his face in my brain. And there's no way that I would have spent 44 years if I had the slightest doubt in my mind that I did not have the right man in prison.
We wanted to speak with the prosecutor who got Simmons convicted about allegations that he withheld evidence that may have exonerated Simmons.
David Begnaud here for Eddie Knoll.
Though he repeatedly declined to speak with us, former District Attorney Eddie Knoll says in a sworn affidavit that the defense had access to the entire file. He says he is convinced the evidence supported Simmons' conviction. And about that photo, he says he was told it was taken after the lineup.
So it was information that is explosively helpful for a lawyer to use.
Before she became a Louisiana criminal court judge, Lori White represented Simmons and tried to get him a new trial.
It was pretty clear to me that the defense did not have information to impeach the witnesses. They did not have the police report. They did not have that photograph of a physical lineup. They did not have what was a rape kit at that time for the coroner to have physically looked at the two alleged victims. Had a jury heard, I don't think they would have convicted, or they would not have convicted perhaps of that charge.
He did it. He just didn't. You know, I have it. Of course he did.
It is among 16 unsuccessful attempts to get his conviction tossed out.
The board has voted this time to deny your request for parole.
Now it is Attorney Justin Bonus's turn. You already have a judge who said to you on the record that Mr. Simmons was convicted without the total picture. Do you believe you're on the verge of getting a new trial?
I pray that I am. I don't know what to believe. Until it happens, I don't know what to believe.
Attorney Justin Bonus has told the judge overseeing the case about what he calls explosive new evidence from a sworn affidavit made by Keith Laborde's cousin, Dana Brouillette. Dana Brouillette says long after the trial, Keith admitted to me that Vincent Simmons did not rape Sharon and Karen and did not put them in the trunk of the car. Dana Brouillette goes on to say, he told me that he had had consensual sex with one of the girls and locked the other in the
Yeah, you could tell this old bitch right here lying. The way she keep moving, she can't even keep still.
trunk while he was on Little California.
Oh my God, she is a sick woman. She has no clue. Say that was the truth. And they believe that really happened. Why didn't they go report it?
Hello, Mr. Laborde. My name is David Begnaud with CBS News. Keith Laborde was not home when we stopped by. By phone, he refused our request for an interview. He insisted that Simmons is guilty, and he says he did not have sex with Karen. The sheriff asked you if you had been sexually involved with Keith.
Keep in mind, this is their cousin, and this is why they lied. They was over there having sex with their cousin, and then they said a black man did it.
You told him no. It's an uncomfortable question, so I'm pausing because I don't even like asking it. But
Go for it.
I know you're already there. I know.
It's fine.
Did you have consensual sex with Keith Laborde?
We were kids.
Yes, ma'am.
We experimented. So yes, if that's
Damn, she had sex with her cousin. I told you.
consensual, if that's whatever word you want to put to it.
This happened before you say Vincent Simmons raped you.
Yes.
How old were you when it happened?
I don't know, 9, 10, maybe.
And is this the first time you're saying this publicly?
Yes, it is.
That's as newly discovered evidence as it gets, man. And it's out of the horse's mouth. She's no longer a victim. My client's a victim. It's evidence that Vincent, at trial, his defense attorneys would have ran to that so fast, they would have blamed Keith. Now that we know that this guy was preying on her, and she, for the first time, reveals this, it calls into question everything that she said before. Everything.
One thing has nothing to do with the other thing. Yeah, we were young, we experimented, but that has nothing to do with what Vincent did. That's two separate incidents. That's two separate things.
The twins insist they are the victims, wounded by what happened, and they blame the legal system for not ensuring that Simmons' unanimous conviction was irrefutable. They know the challenge that they're facing.
My thing is this, because of what...
Now, listen to this part now. This is the energy they got for you.
maybe should have been done, that wasn't done, the things we should have said, that we
what you
didn't
said
say,
also,
and what we
about
didn't say.
our word is against his. There's no evidence,
And-
so it would be hard to fight it.
If the judge orders a new trial, are you both willing to testify at the trial?
Oh, absolutely. I will testify.
Karen?
No.
I will
I'm not,
for
I'm
the
not,
fact
I'm
that
not doing it. I've already been there.
I don't
We've
care.
done this. Why am I gonna put myself in that position again and take the chance of him walking out?
Because right now, anyway, we're at a 50-50 that he could walk out anyway. So if we go to court, we're still at the same odds.
I'm not gonna put myself and my family back through that
Because
either, Sharon. Don't you get it? It doesn't matter.
Because if we don't and we back down now, then it gives the world
Do
more of
we-
an opportunity to
Sharon,
say they're lying,
Sharon,
and that's
but
why they're
here's the-
backing down.
Sharon,
They
it
don't want
doesn't
to fight
matter
it.
anymore. The world's going to think what they want to think. No matter how hard we fight, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't.
I want him to be miserable for the rest of his remaining days.
Sharon, guess what?
Damn, they
One
falling
day,
apart.
When he'll stand before God, and he will be miserable. He's already been judged guilty. He will die guilty. And when he goes and he stands before the Lord, he will still be guilty. Okay?
All right, Karen.
So here.
So there you have it, the official Karen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why they call them Karens. You know what I'm saying? It does sound like her fantasy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so you know, there you have it. These you know what I'm saying, white bitches, and like I said, you see what they have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like she like, yeah, I'm not going to court again to repeat that lie. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I did have sex with my cousin and stuff like that, and that's probably what they were doing, trying to cover it up. And they just said a black man did it, right? And they didn't. They was like, you know, oh yeah, they said a nigger did it. And by the way, in 1977, it don't matter what evidence he had or didn't have, he would not have been found innocent no matter what happened. You know what I'm saying? They would have did the same thing that they always do. Because this is a whole history and a whole culture of that. You know what I'm saying? This is the mindset that we have here. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, so that happened, and now they're trying to get him out of jail right now, and he been in jail for 44 years behind this, and there's no evidence that she was raped. They was probably having sex with their cousin, but they're saying that they were in their cousin's car, and this black man beat him up, or somehow got the white boy in the trunk and raped 2 white girls, right? I guess while the other one sat there and waited to be raped, and she admit now, you know, you could tell the other one, she's probably getting ate up by guilt, and they're falling right apart on the interview, you know, because they did what they did. But so yeah, let me go to the next one, because I'm about to get off of here so we can go to Fanbase, because I ain't gonna be on the Fanbase long either. But we need to start moving the Fanbase. So this is something that happened in my state, you know what I'm saying, in 2020, you know what I'm saying? A white woman in Virginia charged with falsely accusing a black couple of assaulting her. So there's no video of this, but a 63-year-old, so we see the old bitches, the young bitches, they don't really matter. And she got charged with filing a false police report about lying about being assaulted in Powhatan County. Now her name is Gladys Townsend, right? And she said that she was assaulted by a black man and woman. She said she did not know her alleged assailants, but described the couple in their car. But further investigation revealed that the assault did not occur. Townsend confessed to fabricating the assault, and she has been charged with filing a false police report. Now, 100 years ago, in 1920, I wonder how many people would have got lynched for that. I wonder how many people got harassed and arrested and questioned and all of that in 2020. So our allegations are unclear. They quote unquote condemned it, and they take all allegations seriously. But you know, nothing really came of that. There was no news story of that. That's why it's just one little article about it. But I did want to show you another brother, another young brother, Albert Wilson, in his case, because he's trying to get a new case now. Well, he got a new case, and it was an update to his case recently. So, but I don't know if y'all remember Albert Wilson, and he got sentenced to 12 years for kissing a little white girl, right? Because it don't matter. We didn't, and it don't matter if he was aware of it or not, because he was a young kid himself, right? But you're gonna be punished, and we need to have that same energy. So I'm gonna play this video.
For Albert Wilson is ending. The Douglas County District Attorney moved toward that dismissal after using a new restorative justice program. Sean Logging spoke with an attorney for Wilson about their time working on the case and bringing it to a close. Sean?
Rachel, the Wichita native and former KU student, was sentenced in 2019 to 12 years in prison for a rape conviction. The case started in 2016. Earlier this year, a judge ordered a new trial for Albert Wilson, citing ineffective counsel. This case has gained national attention, with professional athletes, celebrities, and many others advocating for Wilson. Now the case is over.
I know that he just genuinely is a good human being that wants to do good in the world.
Relief is the only word Attorney Josh Dubin says comes to mind.
I'm just very happy for Albert and his family to be able to put this behind him.
Dubin worked pro bono on Albert Wilson's appeal and says he spoke extensively with Wilson and his family after the Douglas County District Attorney announced she would be dismissing the case.
He is very emotional and relieved and ready to sort of move on and get on with his life.
This fall, Douglas County developed a restorative justice program. DA Suzanne Valdez says it allows for a facilitated meeting between someone accused or convicted of a crime and the victims, allowing for accountability, amends, and healing. Valdez says talking with the survivor in this case, she wanted to address Wilson directly, and the two held that meeting earlier this week. Dubin says he commends the DA's office for making this an option.
Measured approach, and they considered things from all angles, and I think that that's all we can ask for.
Dubin says this was a difficult case, and the work advocates did outside of the courtroom all had a part to play.
There's a way to advocate for somebody and be respectful, because there are sometimes two perspectives of what may have happened, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Dubin says the more he worked through this case, the more he was convinced of Wilson's innocence.
This kind of work is the most, in my mind, the most gratifying thing you can do as a human being, because there's no material possession, there's no personal gain that can ever match the feeling of restoring a human life.
DA Valdez says this case was well suited for the restorative justice program, saying in a statement, justice comes in different forms and there's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to resolving delicate, difficult matters. For Wilson's attorneys and the DA's office, one of the main goals was finding a way to resolve this case without it going back to a trial.
All right, so yeah, I shouldn't stop sharing it. So yeah, that brother got a new trial, and let me share my screen again. So let me show y'all. Apparently he got exonerated from this crime, which they were at this party. They were both drinking, right? Both probably weren't that falling over drunk, but they were both drinking, and all they did was kiss, and then he left, you know what I'm saying? And then she accused him of rape or whatever, and he got convicted and sentenced to 12 years. So he had no criminal record. It's talking about his lawyer. The person testified at the event. She had gotten drunk at the bar, and as an inexperienced drinker, I'd only really had beer like once or twice, sort of thing, which she shouldn't have been drinking. And I don't know how she got it at a bar anyway. She also testified that the sexual assault left her with panic attacks and that she was afraid of crowds and being around people. So after he kissed this white bitch and then left her, because he didn't have sex with her at all, he left and they went back to the party and chilled for the rest of the night. But she said after that she was having panic attacks. But she lost credibility. And she said the assault damaged her life. She lost her friends, I guess, because she was a nigga lover. She would hide because she couldn't stand being around larger groups of people. And he testified and vouched for whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she had a blood alcohol content of 0.025 at the time of the event. And they were both drinking, but I don't think they were fallout drunk. You know what I'm saying? Because they went back to the party and they made better judgments except for kissing her and messing with her in the first place. He denies, Wilson testified in his own defense denying sexually assaulting her. And because they protect their names, they're gonna put Albert Wilson all out, face and name and all out there, but they call her ZL, and that's probably not even the right official initials. Black people are approximately 4% of the population in the county, and Wilson was tried before an all-white, mostly white female jury. And I can't stress to you enough who was the one calling for the lynchings of black men. It was white bitches. They said white men ain't protecting them enough because they're not hanging enough black men. This was what white bitches said, and who was mostly made up of this jury. So text messages indicated she was lying and drunk all the time, despite her age and testimony, and that she was sexually experienced, which, I mean, we see that a lot of them, that's why they lie, because they have a lot of quote unquote sexual experience. But she only has sex for the first, like, whatever. She also showed she was taking antidepressant medicines because we know that they got that psychotic stuff. So I'm trying to get back to the to down to where they at. So they vacated his conviction on March 21, so they had a retrial, and the case was dismissed on December 22nd, a couple months ago. She said in a statement that the prosecutors worked to resolve the case. But yeah, so he got resolved a couple of months ago, which is a good thing. Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing? And like I'm about to go to the Fanbase app, but I came on here to not only holler at y'all, and I definitely wanted to holler at you, Raw. I don't know if you can get on there. But we definitely trying to get you on there though. And all of y'all download the Fanbase app because y'all can definitely be a part of the conversation and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is, man, look, man, we got to stop playing games. Like, recognize who your enemy is. They are not your friends. And we try to escape who we are so much that we ended up getting right back in the same position over and over and over. Now, all of these cases, one by one, it's the same thing. All it takes is a white bitch tears, and your whole life is ruined because you don't have the ability to stand up to them. And the fact that you give them so many passes, pass after pass, I could do this all day. Like the video that just got me strike, it was 3 more cases, and I probably should just do a live on that one because it was 3 more cases that I talked about. And they wouldn't even let me put that on here. Oh, I got you, Raw. But you should be able to hear it through your computer, though. You should be able to hear it on your computer once you sign on it. Once you sign on. Yeah, El Catran, and that goes for Mexicans too, because black men and black women. I've seen the same thing happen on that side of the tracks too. When dude tried to date a Mexican and then his dad come hit him with a bat and now he messed up for life. Man, we got to start loving our own and putting our own above anything and protecting our own. Because they don't care if there was a nigga lover, if that N-word do something to her, he's going to pay. He's going to get lynched. See, we can have that same energy or whatever. Oh, I see, Raw. Okay, yeah, so I'm about to go on there, and my name is The Forecast, so, I'm about to go on there, like, in a few minutes, because I'm not going to be on there long either. But I showed you, old, young, it doesn't even matter. See, these people on here make excuses for these quote-unquote OnlyFans white bitches who will stab them to death, but let a black woman step on your shoes or something is a problem. This is the self-hate issue that we got to start addressing, because we're not doing enough and we're going to keep dying as a result of it. By every single way that you can imagine, it has happened. And we still give a pass. There's no way that Carolyn Bryant should have died a peaceful death. Maybe we should be the ones inflicting these consequences. Because I understand how everybody want to talk about somebody, slapping somebody, but maybe some people deserve to be slapped. If not more, because, I'm just going to say that. Because y'all already know the deal, but you try to, and that's the thing, and that's why y'all keep trying to accept all of these other people and saying all these other groups can have black children, as if you don't need two black parents, because you want an excuse to have a baby with a snow bunny that'll end up killing you one day or call you the N-word while y'all doing it. That's why y'all make up all these reasons and excuses to say biracials is black. These people are black. These people are black. Because you want to be able to say that I can produce a black child with somebody who's not black. But guess what? You can't. Guess what, Elkatron? Your baby is black and brown. Not black. If your wife wanted a black kid, she could only do that with a black man. But see, we got this thing where if we can just escape our blackness and identify as something else, maybe, just maybe we can get away from it. But it's nothing that you could ever do to get away from it. And the person most likely that you're laying down with won't even want to give up what they want to give up. Because you think you got all of these allies, these quote unquote liberals who's on your side, who may not want to see you get shot down in the street, but they don't want to see the system overturn where they lose power. Right? You're going to find out the hard way. And too often we find out the hard way, like that sister, Laura Smith-Field. She was a beautiful young sister. Same thing happened. And you see that the black community has less and less, quote unquote, sympathy for that. Even though I think that we should always punish somebody who harm us, especially if they harm us and they know they can get away with it because we're a black people. I definitely think that we should make sure there's consequences, but if you're making that decision, we can't quite save you. It's not the same situation as with the cops or something, because you chose to do this. And I did a video, one of my last premieres on my backup channel, that the full video. This brother had a baby with a Mexican person, and then his Mexican and black son had a baby with a lighter skinned Mexican. And now his granddaughter looked like a full-blown Mexican, nothing like him, because he looks like a black man. He straight washed out. And I don't say wash out his blackness. I say he dirtied out his blackness. Yeah, black people are sick. Yo, what up, Rasheed Holmes? And yo, Rasheed, I'm about to go over to the app now. I just wanted to come on here and show a few videos. And that's something that black people have to give up. Yeah, they're a part black. And I understand, because a lot of y'all have it in your direct families because you made a decision, or your mom or your daughter is biracial. You know what I'm saying? You got a baby with a white woman, or your mom is white or something. That's why you want to identify it and bring it in to try to normalize it, but that doesn't make it true. They are mixed. Because you can't deny the other part of it. And that doesn't mean I don't like biracials. And I do think there's a slippery slope, because there are some who heavily identify as black, and there are some who go against it, and some in the middle. But that's why I do think there needs to be rules. And Elkatron, that's why I said, if your wife asks me or your baby mama asks me, I would say don't do it. Go get you a black husband and have a black family. Because for real, let's be real, it's bigger than us. And just like you are choosing somebody else and you think your kid is going to do that, especially because more often than not, in most cases, and I'm speaking generally, people do that out of the self-hatred. Because how do you know brothers like the brother who got stabbed up, the stuff that he say about black women, the stuff that he say about black people? And I know he had negative stuff to say, and he used words like Akata and black women this and all of this stuff. But it's too many of us who have that same energy, who are from here, who are from anywhere. Y'all gotta stop letting them white bitches be the black man kryptonite, man. They the most dangerous species that ever walked the earth, the most dangerous species in the universe. And y'all better stop playing games. I mean, maybe we should still be watching or have Emmett Till's, sticker up on our car so we never forget. Yeah, I'm sure she did. But does your wife understand how economics and all of these other things play into it? See, we make all kind of excuses why, oh, well, blacks shouldn't just be with blacks. I agree with all of these other points, but no, when it comes to that, no. Because they trying to get out their skin, hoping that if they lighten, see, y'all got La Raza over there. See, we got our own form of that with the whole colorist stuff. And especially with all of these quote unquote allies. But when it comes down to it, now you're putting your children in a tough situation because now what decision you got to make? Right? See, let's say this black and brown union mess up and it come to a, I mean, it's been a whole bunch of riots and stuff before, right? But you side up with the Mexican side because that's your people, and your wife probably will too. But if she side up with the black side, now what is your kid gonna do? Not only that, us putting our money together, building our families, building our wealth, we in a position that nobody else is in, and we can't afford to play games like that. Well, first of all, you can choose who you fall in love with because you will have to be talking to somebody and dating them and doing all of these things to quote unquote fall in love. So no, I'm gonna put my energy and effort towards doing these things for a black woman, a good black woman. Somebody who deserves it. So no, I probably wouldn't even be talking to a Mexican or a Cuban or a Puerto Rican woman. But you can control who you fall in love with. You control who you go on the first date with. So all of that stuff is excuses. And I know sometimes people aren't aware of whatever it is at the time. I get it. Well, maybe you should be more aware and understand the situations that you're in. And by the way, you can never, if you with somebody else, talk about this whole black love thing or be a leader. You can say, yeah, I'm for black rights and all of that and be in favor and support and all of that, but you can't be no leader or nothing like that because, like she said, we shouldn't just be with each other. See, we got to circle our money in our community. We got to live together. We got to do everything. We got to find the self-love that we lost. We don't got time to be, quote unquote, loving somebody else because, and I'm not trying to make it personal, Elkatron, but if your wife loved herself, right? If she have some kind of self-hate thing or, she don't want to marry her own, yo, what up, Bakari? And I'm about to get off of here. But if she don't want to marry her own and she got some kind of self-hate thing, and she don't have enough self-love to especially know the situation we in. How could she love somebody else if she don't got enough to love herself? I mean, that's just something that, you know what I'm saying? And that's why it's something that I would never suggest, because the same thing happened and I showed it. I mean, it's 100 cases. Look up this video, one of my premiere videos, anti miscegenation. It ain't just Europeans out here doing that. It's these wannabe Europeans out here doing that too. You know what I'm saying? That's the point of like why we gotta stick together. Like, we don't have a community right now. We can't afford to be trying to help and uplift and have all of these quote unquote allies who don't even like us in the first place. All right, yo, I'm gonna put the so I'm gonna give it like yeah, I'm gonna say this, yo. Y'all go download the Fanbase app. I'm about to go on the Fanbase right now, and we're gonna talk about it. And it's a black platform for black conversations. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna talk about this, you know what I'm saying? Are black racials black, you know what I'm saying? Because at the beginning, you know what I'm saying, like I said, all right, the reason why y'all always trying to argue for these biracials be black is to make excuses for you messing with these psychopathic quote unquote snow bunnies. But y'all ain't gangster like this. White women is way more gangster than black men ever was. Well, I ain't gonna say ever was, but in American history ever. And I do a body count any day of the week, and you can't protect yourself. What you gonna do when a white woman start crying? You done. And ain't no point of messing with no Mexican girl either. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know, man. We are all we got, man. But yo, when you go on the fan base, put in the forecast, and shout out to my brother Rashida Brown, Mayat, Bill Gates, and my brother Bushudo Brown and Bill Gates. Y'all make sure y'all get the app, man. I definitely want to hear y'all so we can have this conversation and we can continue over there. But yo, I appreciate all of y'all listening, and Raw, at least I'm glad you can listen, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I understand you gotta get a mic and all of that stuff too. But at least you can listen. So you know what I'm saying? That's the point. We want to try to get you over there too. And so I'm about to start it up in a few minutes, like like less than 5 minutes. So y'all go over there right now. I'm about to start it up right now. But I appreciate all of y'all for listening. But let me say this, by the way. I put my email in the chat, and I'm gonna put it in again. We about to no, when you have sex with something, you have babies, man. You don't put no intentions to nothing that you on, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We are sick. That's the whole point, Raw. We are sick. You know what I'm saying? That's why we make all of these excuses, because that's all it is. It's just an excuse to not be who we are. But like I said, man, y'all email me. We having the first meeting, and this is just an introduction. You know what I'm saying? There's a Zoom call, and I don't plan for it to be long. I don't know how long it's gonna be. But if you're interested and you want the link, you know what I'm saying, you email me, and I'm gonna send you the link. But on this link, you gotta show your face. You know what I'm saying? We, like I said, we trying to build towards the future. We're gonna talk about getting together, you know what I'm saying, doing this stuff in person, you know what I'm saying, something that we could do. How can we start strategizing and all this stuff? But like I said, this is just the introduction. So I want y'all to go on there and email me if you want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be tomorrow at 7:30 East Coast time. So make sure y'all do that, and make sure y'all go to the Fanbase app. But yeah. So I appreciate it. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we gonna keep falling for anything.